Hello everybody, it's Anne from Anne's Stampin' Up. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Simcoe, Ontario, Canada. If you don't have your own demonstrator in Canada, please feel free to shop with me. You can reach me at stampsandtea@gmail.com, or my demonstrator website is stampsandtea.stampinup.net. Welcome everybody. This is the second card of the new year. We're already up to January the 9th or the 10th. Time flies when you're having fun, so they say. We're going to make a card today using a stamp set from the annual catalogue, and I'm going to turn the camera down, flip it around, and I'll explain to you all the parts we need as we're going through. So this is the 2021-22 annual catalogue. This is the set we're going to use today. It's called Inspired Thoughts bundle. It's $63. It's a beautiful bundle. The sayings in this set are just gorgeous. Also comes with a beautiful die set called let me see, Inspiring Canopy dies. So as I say, you can buy the whole bundle for $63 from the annual catalogue, and bear in mind, if you do buy that before the end of February, you can also pick a free item from the Celebration catalogue. Lots of lovely stuff in the Celebration catalogue right now. So I'm going to show you the card we're going to make. Let me see if that's that. Hopefully that stays there. This is the card we're going to make. I made this into a birthday card. It says thinking of you on your special day, and inside it's your time to be remembered, to feel appreciated, and to know you're celebrated. So it's quite simple to make. We're also going to use the Pinewood Plank 3D folder. Now this is not in the current catalogue. I think this was in last year's catalogue, but it's still a lovely folder, and you know, why wouldn't you use it if you really like it? First of all, I need to bring in the big Stampin' Cut and Emboss. And I'm just going to set it at the side for a minute, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this embossing folder and a piece of Seaside Spray cardstock. So we have this Pinewood Plank folder, a piece of 5.5 by 4.25 Seaside Spray, which we're going to run through the embossing folder after we've inked the inside of the embossing folder. So I just need a scrap of paper here. And turn that way. To ink the inside of the embossing folder, I need to know which side is going to be up, okay? And it's this side. It's usually the side with the Stampin' Up logo is usually the top of your folder, okay? So let's have a look. We're going to ink it up with Early Espresso, because the body of the main card is Early Espresso. I'm just going to swipe my ink pad over this folder, okay, just like that. I'm going to take my piece of card and put it in my folder, and we're going to put this card in here this way, because we want the stripes to come across the card. Got it. Okay, let's open this up, and we're going to roll this through. See what it made? What a nice piece of cardstock that made. Isn't that lovely? And this is what I've just cut out. Let's see, poke the trees out. Oh, I didn't get right to the end. Dear. Oh, I did. Just like that. There's my trees. And I'm also going to cut a little, if you can see on the original card, this piece here is just this curved die in the set. So I'm going to cut that, a piece for the bottom of the card, out of another piece of brown, early espresso. So I need a piece 4 inches wide by about 1.5 inches. Let's see if we got it. We did. So we have a piece like this for the bottom of the card. All right. I have here a little scrubby brush. Oops. And a piece of foam, and I'm going to put this die here on the foam, and this brush, I'm just going to run it back and forwards over my die, and hopefully it's going to take most of the little pieces out. These pieces here are not going to come out, so we'll use the pokey tool. There. Looks good. Pokey tool there. Right, room to work. Okay, so we have, for the basic card, we have early espresso, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, side fold card. Okay, we have this lovely piece that we embossed, which really turned out nicely. This is soft sea foam, and it is well, it's going to be trimmed, because I left it larger so that just in case I ended up with like a really dark edge or anything, and then I could trim that off. Okay, so we're going to trim that down to 5 1/4 by 4, and I don't think I've really got any dark edges, so let me just go 5 1/4 here. And sometimes you have to press a little harder when, oh dear, when you're embossing. After you've embossed, sorry, and you're cutting, you're trimming. So 5 1/4 by 4. There, that came off nicely that time. Okay, I've just got a couple of little edges on here. I don't know that you can see them, just I can barely see them myself, but they will show up against the dark brown cards, so just trimming them off now. Okay, so this is for the outside of the card. This is going to be the piece on the front of the card. We've got a piece that is 5 1/4 by 4, again soft sea foam, and that's for the inside of the card. So yeah, let's leave that. Okay, put those out of the way. What I'm going to do, I've got 4 trees here in this set. There's a little knob. 4 trees in the set, but I really only want 3. You see, if you look there, I used these 3 trees and I cut that off. I'm going to show you how to use that piece up in just a minute, but I'm going to trim this. There, that gets rid of that. And I'm going to look at my card, and I'm thinking I'm going to trim it right down here. Just like that. So I've got this little piece of tree left. I may or may not use it. I think I might show you another card when I'm finished to just to use that up. Alright, so this is the inside of the card. This is my scrap for my sentiment on the front of the card, and this is the stamp sets we're going to use. Okay, this is the Inspired Thoughts stamp set, and we're going to stamp in early espresso. Just, it's your time. Nice, that went nicely. And I'm going to stamp on a scrap for thinking of you on your special day. There we go. I'm going to bring this down to the middle of my cutter because it may not be dead straight across the bottom. So I'm going to line up the edge of my words with my channel on my trimmer. Look. Cut that off there. You see that the piece I cut off, it wasn't straight, it's wider at the bottom, so that's why I lined up my words. And then I'm going to turn it this way, line up the top of my words with my channel again. Yeah, that's all right. And I'm just going to trim this off a little bit and notch. Do I want to notch it or do I want to point it? Well, I'm thinking I'm going to point it. Now I'm just eyeballing this. Alright, so that's going to go on the front of the card in just a minute. So we have the brown piece. Let me see, we have this piece first. That's going to go on there like that. I think I may just line that up at one side, turn it over and snip this piece off. There. Okay, so we're going to put this on dimensionals on the front of the card, and then we're going to glue the trees down flat tucked in behind this. Which side are my dimensionals on? This way. So I'm trying to keep the dimensionals away from the center because this tree trunk is going to be just about in the center. Okay, I can always gently lift this and put an extra dimensional in if I have to. Okay, and I probably will, because I think the middle of the card, the middle of this piece of card is going to need to be supported. So I've got that right. So I've got that measured. I'm going to put it aside. I'm going to put this piece on my card, and I'm going to use Stamp & Seal Plus and hope it doesn't rip my card. Okay, let me get my little silicone mat because it seems to work better on me. They say the trick is once you get it moving, keep it moving. But I don't know, people, I don't know. Okay, so we're going to put this on the front of the card. We'll have about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. It's fairly even. There. And then we'll take this piece, which we've taken the back off the dimensionals. And did I cut that right? It just goes right to the edges of the blue, what is it called? Seaside Spray piece. There. Now you see how this piece in the center dips. Once I get my trees in, I may just lift that, or I might just look at where my trees are going to go. Like that, and maybe pop a dimensional in from the bottom edge here. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do. Just going to pick this up. And pull that off. I used the edge of the pokey tool. It's not called a pokey tool anymore. It's called a, I don't know what it's called, to tell you the truth. A multi-pick tool is what we're going to call it right now. So now we're going to pop these trees in, lining them right up to the right hand edge there. Now I've got a little bit of a leaf there or a twig there that I don't like, so I'm just going to snip it off. There. Okay, for this I'm going to use Tombow glue, my Tombow. And I'm just going to dab it all over the place, but I'm going to try and keep it going right around the edges too. Move that. Slide this into place. Just line it right up at the edge of the blue. Got a good press if I can. We've got a sentiment for the bottom here, which we're just going to pop on, and we have a stamped piece for the inside. I'm just going to put this in again about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. I'm going to pop this on the front. We're going to put this down flat on the front. And to finish it off, I have some, these are old, these are Noble Peacock rhinestones, but I just thought they just finished off the front of the card. Those and a little bit of good old wink of Stella. There. So I'm just going to pick up a couple of gems here. One there. And one there. That just finished the front of the card. Wink of Stella. Give it a good shake. Come on. And really all I did is I gave this a good shake and a good squeeze, and I'm just going to run it right all over my trees. There. And then I'm just taking my Wink of Stella brush, running it under the soft sea foam as far as I can, just to finish off the edges of the card itself. And there it is. It's one card, a little bit of shimmer on there, so it makes a nice male birthday card. So that's card number 1. And somewhere I have a piece of tree that I cut off, and I just thought it was a shame to waste that. So what I did with that was I just used that to make a little sympathy card. So let me just show you what I've got here. These are Stampin' Up! Note cards. They're on page 136 of the annual catalogue. They're $9.50 and you get 20 cards and 20 envelopes, and they really do make a nice size for a sympathy card. So let me just quickly show you how I made this card. I have some foam pieces here, and I've got an extra piece of Whisper White or Basic White. This card, when it starts out at 7 by 5, 7 inches by 5, folded in half, you get 3.5 by 5. So I've got an extra piece of Whisper White, which is going to go on here like this. So 3.5 by 5. So this is 3.25 by 4 3/4. Let me just check that. Yes, 3.25 by 4 3/4. And this is just what I'm going to do. I have some granny apple green, some balmy blue, and a little bit of daffodil yellow. And I've got some sponges here. And which way am I going? This way. I'm just going to put balmy blue, and I'm just going to dab it, and I'm going to come on from off my scrap of paper onto the edge of my card. And I don't want it to be solid colour, okay? I just want the hint of colour there, if you will. And then I've got granny apple green. I'm going to do the same thing, coming on from the bottom of the card. Oops. So you see, you've just got a little bit of blue and a little bit of green there. This green, because I forgot to get another sponge out, I've got Daffodil Delight there. I'm just going to fold this over my green sponge, grab a little bit of colour with the edge of it, put the sun in the sky. There. Okay. Get that out of the way. Take my tree. Here's my tree. My tree's going to go at that end, just like that. I've got my sun, and I'm going to stamp a sentiment on there with heartfelt sympathy. Just like that. Pop that over there. Glue again, if I can get hold of that tree. Put this right to the edge over here. This. There's my card. That's just going to mount on the front just like that. There. So just a quick little sympathy card, because it was a shame to waste that last tree after I cut it off the other set. They're my designs, so as always, if you wish to copy them, please do so. Just say where you saw the design originally, and if you're going to sell your cards, please remember to put the Stamping Up Angel stamp on the back of them. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next week. Bye.